Good morning and welcome to PA Biz Conversations. My name is Patti Husic and I am the Associate Publisher and Editorial Director for the Central Penn Business Journal and Lehigh Valley Business. And this is PA Biz Conversations. PA Biz Conversations is a weekly web video series where we talk to business leaders, influencers in the mid-state as well as the Lehigh Valley and talk about issues that's going on. And I'm very happy today to welcome Patti Husic, who is the CEO and President of Centric Bank. Welcome, Patti.
Thank you, Kathy. Thanks for having me on today and thrilled to be on your show.
Excellent. Thanks, Patti. Patti, we're going to kick off this segment of PA Biz Conversations and kind of talk about what's been going on with Centric Bank, I would say, in the past 6 months since March. So, in light of COVID and the recent business focus on maybe diversity and inclusion, which has also been a huge topic, how has Centric helped minority and small businesses since March? What can you tell us? What can you walk through with us on how Centric has been a key part in that?
Sure, happy to do so, Kathy. So Centric Bank was a big player and very active in the Paycheck Protection Program, was so crucial for the small business owner. It was the lifeline. And during that point, you heard a lot of financial institutions were working primarily with their own customers. And one of the things that we did is that we wanted to help any small business, customer or non-customer, that was in the markets we serve. So throughout central PA, suburban Philly, and in parts of New Jersey. So in order to get that information out, I had done numerous interviews during that time, shout outs on social media, reaching out to centers of influences, CPAs, attorneys. I did many Vistage Group live meetings with them and talking about the Paycheck Protection Program. I also did a Facebook Live with Joyce Davis at Penn Live and encouraging, anybody to apply to us, including, minority businesses, to take a look at, Kathy, of, the numbers that we did. We did a lot of that we can tell at least that it was female owned. But as far as to find out, other types of diversity, that information wasn't, able to be gathered on that PPP loan application. The point is we were very public, very social on social media and calling out to all small businesses and that providing a contact person. We made it easy with an online loan portal. So opening to any business, any small business, customer or not, in the market that we serve. I think that provided a great platform and for anybody to work with us. So we were ready and able to do those things. In addition, subsequent to my interview with Joyce Davis on her Facebook Live, we had committed to following up to providing some information. For example, where would be some go-to resources for individuals, those small business owners to go to where they needed help. In addition to the Paycheck Protection Program loans, there was other various grants and loans within the economic development areas, and we provided links to that. Also, we just recently provided information on how to get a help for small business owners, maybe even to how to get a small business started and off the ground and really the steps. So we have been providing so many different forms of media to, help small business, to help those that maybe minority-owned business. Again, we were open to any small business and providing those avenues, making it very easy to get access to those funds, those lifeline to the small businesses.
Patti, I heard that, especially on social media, especially some of your customers saying that you were pretty aggressive in helping them out. Like you were checking up on them and stuff like that. So that's a real credit to the fact that was getting back to folks. So what did that look like for you? I mean, I'm imagining that you probably didn't get a lot of sleep the past couple months.
We didn't, Kathy. And one of the things, I had to give such great accolades to our team. We had every single person of our team involved in the Paycheck Protection Program. In the beginning part of that in April and parts of May, the first 2 weeks were, it was crazy. I can't even have any other words to describe it because it was a panic. There was a panic among small businesses. I believe there was so many people thought the money was going to be exhausted within a number of days. So there was panic. There was anywhere from 12, 14-hour days to as much as 18 plus hours a day that we were working. But that was in order to, we knew we had to help small business. So when you take a look at it, we were helping small business, but also too, when you take a look at our 142 team members, Kathy, there wasn't a lot else going on during that time, meaning businesses were shut down. So it was an opportunity to, first and foremost, to help the small businesses in our community. But as a financial institution, we were also helping ourselves as well, and ensuring that all of our employees maintained working and that we didn't need to furlough anyone. When you think about those 220 plus million of PPP loans we have, we continue doing them to the very end. We have almost 70% to non-customers. Centric Bank, or I like to say now new to Centric Bank.
Wow.
So that's an incredible amount that we had done throughout our markets that we serve. Subsequent to the PPP, we've stayed in touch with those customers. Is it emails, reaching out to them, letting them know what are the next steps. We also had assigned every single customer and those new customers to Centric a loan officer and someone from the retail. So imagine too, for all those non-customers, Kathy, we opened deposit accounts up to deposit their funds and making it the easiest for them to access their money. So there was about 1,200 deposit accounts opened, as well as all these new loans. Our team did a fantastic job with them. So following up with, if for example, there were various grants, making them aware of, this information is out there and it's available. And being that trusted advisor and providing a value add, that's what we tried to do to those small businesses. Time just reaching out the time of opening, just asking how their experience was with Centric, but also what more could we do for them? How were they beginning their plans to open their business and to navigating that course? We've heard so many, a gamut of emotions, coming from those small businesses of, they were thrilled to get their PPP money and to knowing the confirmation. Our teams were following up with them. Is it email, a text, their personal phone call, letting them know, your funds are secured and we'll be following up shortly with you to settle on it to ensure you get your money. So we almost, it was like an assembly line that we had, but it was all hands on deck. And again, I can't give a big enough shout out to our team members. Some of the things, Kathy, I would do along the way because people were getting exhausted.
Right.
And, what I was started doing, about 2 weeks in or so, I was sending emails a couple times a week, giving them examples of how they helped a very specific small business owner and sharing, is it a phone call I received? Is it a text? Is it an email? Is it some social media that I was responding to when I was getting comments on my Facebook, on my LinkedIn, on Twitter private messages, and sharing that? And I had messages back from our team saying, wow, this is enough to put the pep in the step, and it gives you the energy to keep going. I had a small business customer who broke down in tears and said, I didn't know what I was going to do if I didn't receive this money. One of my most favorite ones that I received and I shared with our team is someone said, I'm new to Centric, but could you please pass on, because I knew it took a whole village to make this move for me and so many others. Your team is truly the superheroes to us small business.
That's really cool. That is really cool.
I said, so who said bankers don't wear capes, right?
So kind of wrapping this conversation up, what's next for Centric Bank? Like what's going to be happening now as we hopefully head into post-COVID? What are some of the things that Centric Bank is looking forward to or going to be doing at the end of 2020 as well as the beginning of 2021?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that this depends upon my answer to you, Kathy. Number one, we haven't begun the forgiveness process with these small businesses where so many other financial institutions We're still waiting on Congress. There's been conversations on there may be a blanket forgiveness of loans of 150,000 and under. And for there, that would be a big lift for a smaller community bank, but also a big lift for that small business. When you think a lot of those at 150,000 and under, they don't have a CFO working there. And the information they're pulling together, that's a lot on their plate. For us in particular, that's about 1,500 of those loans, 150,000 and under. So I think number one, we've also heard conversations that there would be a PPP3. So another lifeline to businesses that, and I saw some of the drafts that were provided to the U.S. Senate from the SBA, specifically focusing on, businesses, small businesses with under 300 employees, those who had the largest decline in impact to revenue, 50% and greater of decline year over year. If that's the case, that there's going to be another round, we're all in. We want to help those small businesses who are most impacted. And I believe as I, exchange some emails with you, we see in our communities, our restaurants, our hoteliers have been so hard hit, especially at a 25% capacity. And as we approach the colder months, how do they stay, in business with only 25% capacity? So I hope that, our Congress is able to put something forth to help them and to, to get them over that hump, toward a place we have a vaccine or whatever those markers are that, we can start, all businesses begin the reopening process. But furthermore, we're also seeing loan activity pick up too. You look in the residential market, Kathy, that right now in our markets, you can't keep a home on the market quick enough. The selling prices, and by far, this is a seller's market, the selling price of these homes are going at 100% and greater of listing price because of the historically low interest rates on mortgages. So for the shout out for anybody listening to the video, when you post this, if you can save at least a point on a refinance, now's the time, to do it, to reach out to whomever your banker is. I know our team's been busy doing that, but you're seeing others, businesses who are positioned to seize the opportunities are doing that. We're seeing acquisition of real estate, maybe commercial real estate, that they're getting some better prices. You're seeing a lot of vacancies in the commercial real estate market, where businesses are saying, we can continue operating remotely. We can save some money. This will help, strengthen our business even further. So you're seeing others that saying, well, I could pick up a really great deal here and doing some purchasing. So you're seeing kind of two gamuts of the spectrum. Organic loan growth has always been a core component and a core competency of Centric Bank. And, we're going to continue doing that. This year, we surpassed a threshold of $1 billion in total assets. And I see there's tremendous opportunities for us to continue to helping small businesses in our markets that we serve in Central PA, throughout the suburban Philly. I see our small businesses have been so resilient, and they have been so quick to change, to navigate, and with that entrepreneurial DNA, they never give up, and they're going to continue to fight this. And I think they're going to be a key to helping navigating us through this, pandemic. And as a, the champion to small business, Kathy, we're here to help them, support them, to guide them along the ways. I didn't mention too, we've been active in the Main Street lending program that the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston has come out with. And, we're one of the very few banks that is participating in that. Again, it's another avenue to help small businesses. It's a 95% guarantee of the loan or participation, with the Federal Reserve Bank. And, it may has a little higher, when you take a look at some covenants or key ratios you may meet, but there are customers and non-customers, or I say new customers of Centric, that are being able to meet that criteria. Again, it's another avenue to help small businesses in the markets that we're serving. Initially, we got inundated with small businesses all over the country with this, but our goal is to help those where we can help best in the markets that we serve.
Great. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate you joining us for this this segment of PA Biz Conversations. Like always, you're always very accessible to the Central Penn Biz Journal. I know we reach out to you a lot for definite comment and for your industry insight. So I really appreciate this. So thank you.
My pleasure, Kathy. Thank you for having me, on your show here today, and love sharing, what's been going on not only at Centric, but more importantly, how we're able to help small businesses, and not only through the PPP, but also we want to help them navigate, through this to get back to where they were to pre-COVID levels of the revenue and where their businesses were. And I'm confident the resilience will get there.
Excellent, excellent. Well, for PA Biz Conversations, I'd like to thank Patti Husic, and I'd also like to say thank you to our viewers for joining us today, and we will see you later. Thank you.